Ew. Welcome to episode 23 of the Mini Golf Show. I'm Jack Milner here, joined by the Sticky Bandits once again, Hep and Marv, on the on the prelude to Hideki Matsuyama making one of the most incredible PGA Tour victories of the season. 4 over through 4 holes. Wonder why that was. And then somehow finds miracle birdies at 17 and 18, having chased down the clubhouse lead of 15 under for Xander Schauffele and Victor Hovland. Hep, I was going to say Hideki's back, but more importantly, looking at this week, Hovland's back, surely.
Hope so. I think this is one for you to rant on about, because I don't think me and Marv watched a shot again this last week, and
Oh,
as you had Decky, this is the one for you to take away.
well, he was going to be, if we actually filmed the podcast, I would have been all over Hideki. Like, I put him up for the,
Unlucky.
I've
Yeah,
got a, I think,
I would have picked him as well.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I think Marv, you fancied Colin Morikawa, right?
It's lies.
If you look at the video when we did the preview for the Olympics, and they're going, Hideki, how's he 40 to 1? It's like, in my head, the best ball strikers in the world are probably Hideki with Hovland, Schauffele and Scheffler. I just don't put McIlroy. I mean, I think this week McIlroy is the biggest price he's been all season. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, he's still he's on a drift on Oddschecker 14 to 1. I think he'll start off 16s, maybe even 18s. But Hideki, when he gets in that zone, he's mustard. It's just he's Achilles heel's always been his short game. His scrambling in particular on Sunday was brilliant. Because they were really tight fairways, the rough was up, and he was managing to find pars from the 5, 6, 7, 8 feet, which keeps that run, which Scheffler's kind of been the absolute grinder for. And Scheffler likewise, but you don't really associate that with McIlroy. And we talked about before, right? The big three is now Xander, Scheffler, and Rory. Xander and Scheffler were fighting out again this week. Again, what do we say? 46% of all Scheffler's finishes have been tied third or better in the last 2 years, which is fucking unbelievable. And Rory was, I think, fourth last. And then this is just what second last, sorry. And this is 4 weeks on from him saying in the middle of the open round, yeah, so I planning my holidays, give it up. Just a different mindset. I think did Xander finish with a 63 on Sunday? Nearly, I can't believe he didn't hold his chip at 18 to post 16 under as well. Hideki basically Hideki's so lucky to win this week. Eighth.
But you weren't having a meltdown or anything, were you? You knew it was always going to happen. It was always going to win.
By 2, what are you talking about? I think I messaged Kenny Kim saying he's going to win by 6. If you take out that 4 over little blip, he wins by 6. Martha, what are your thoughts entering the BMW based on last week? Just based on the scores alone.
Excuse me. I suppose the first question is that I did think before last week, if Scheffler getting 72 4 to 1 for for last week and this week, is it a no-brainer to are they potentially going to win one of them? And I think this week, looking at the course setup, maybe similar to Augusta, as per PGA2.com. Is he too short? I suppose that's his starting point.
Yes.
It depends on it. If you'd gone with him last week, then you're probably doubling up and thinking, right, I'll chase it. Yeah. And then you think, look, if I miss this week, I'm going again. Because you'd like to think that he'd win one of the 3. That's my starting point. I don't know at the moment if I don't think I'm going to select him, but it wouldn't surprise me if he just had, again, I don't know how well he played last week, but 4th place, lowest round 65, but still 4 rounds in the 60s. Did you say?
He missed a lot of putts on Sunday. A lot of putts. And it was the first time in a while he was getting really frustrated, which is the thing that he's kind of, he's also been subdued by. You haven't seen him really get annoyed when you see like a Ram or a Patrick Reed. Oh, it's so sick. How's that not true? It was so bad. He was like going to his, I think his bones. So he was like, "Are you kidding me? That hasn't gone right." Um, but he did put well. So I mean, you kind of understand the frustration from that aspect. If you look at the previous winners of the BMW Championship, and I used to think the courses change, it's generally a bit of a birdie fest, and it generally goes to a bit of a streaky player. Um, you probably expect Scheffler to shoot 4 rounds in the sixes again and finish about 18 under, but a bit like a horse that keeps finishing second, Marvin, bumping into one, right? Some things come down the outside and flown by.
Well, that's it. I think in the weekend, what Hideki was, 64 Friday, 64 Saturday. Apart from the near blow up on Sunday, he pretty much just did take everyone out, ran away with the tournament to a point, as in, so there wasn't really any heat on him going to Sunday. Scheffler was never really in the mix, was he? So it was just Matsuyama's own potential blow up that did it, wasn't it? Really, it wasn't like it was, as you say, Xander shot 63, but Hideki actually shot 70 and still won by 2.
Yeah, Hideki was still
Yeah, I
I think
just think
4 play with 7 to play, and then obviously 12 happens hits tour, and 13, 14, 15. He duffed his chip. He was there with it to I think 35 feet at the par 5 16th. Duffed his chip. He duffed his chip the hole before, right, and then just took another one at a big whiff. Um,
see
but
to be honest, if
he was always in
go on.
control, yeah.
That's what I mean. And if you said to him before the fourth round, you can have a 70, will you take it or not? Chances are he had, because again, Xander shot 63, still 2 behind.
Yeah.
Hovland 66, 2 behind. You know what I mean? Somebody had to go super low and to even get in a playoff potentially. So
But that's Marv. If you look at the Castle Pines going right this week, I think
yes.
in oh my God, Denver, Colorado. Time difference is going to be a pain in the ass. Why are you up till 3 in the morning? Should have go to sleep.
Crypto, yeah.
If you look at the previous winners of this, somebody has come
24-hour market. Come on.
What's it done today? Actually, it was about a steady away there. Obviously, there's been more invested.
No, please don't tell me it's more in the same stuff.
The Civics were 5% today. Shut the fuck up. It's somebody coming with a late rattle, right, and shooting like 9 under 62, 63 in the final round. When Mark Leishman won in 2017, I was saying off air, I was in the UK, back to file the pre-event 66ers. I can be by 4. I had Charles win like a grand, and he's got a 2-shot lead going into it. Shitty leaderboard, should win quite easy. And he shot like 4 over. Something really stupid. Mark Leishman shot final round 63, wins by 5. How's this happening? Golf is just such a weird sport where Scheffler could be 4 under, 4 under, 5 under, 5 under, and yet someone just has one round of their life. Like 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago, right? Drives him in shot. He shoots 61, 62 on the Saturday and then followed it up on the Sunday. He ended up losing by a shot, but it's really streaky. Especially when you get to this time of the year when it's going to be set up for a birdie fest, and it's a small field size, but they're all good. They're all good players.
You see, the one thing I generally think that, and I think I spoke to her about this, that the FedEx Cup, Scheffler is still top. I genuinely think if Scheffler could have taken last week off, he might have been tempted. So whether he was just like chilling out last week and just I'm not really, and now you'd already got the $8 million for finishing top in the regular part of the season. He still retained his top spot. Now 2 tournaments left. I suppose if you're a big Scheffler fan, that's your belief, isn't it? That he's now going to turn it on with 2 left. And he was just chilling last week and not trying to, because it's 3 weeks in a row.
Marv, I don't have the stats in front of me. I don't have the keyboard. Stato, you can do this. How many times has Scheffler played 3 weeks in a row?
How am I going to do that?
Just look on his profile on the PGA Tour.
I'd have
He's got
said
his stats on.
he probably does it a little bit, quite a bit, doesn't he? Because he does go to these, those tournaments in
I think
Texas.
did he not play it
You
after the
know,
Masters? Or the US was it the US Open?
Well,
The PGA. He
they,
played
they,
Did
they
he
had
play
the enhanced
Houston
events,
when
and they both sides of.
Houston when he should have won with
Mm.
Stephen fucking Jaeger? My God, that is gonna haunt
You're
me
not
for the
over that
rest of
yet.
my fucking Jaeger bomb. God.
but you see,
Hideki,
the
who
Olympics
beat
was
that
only
out?
because the Olympics was only 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? So from the Sunday to the Thursday, you got to get back from France, etc. And
Have you
I
seen the
don't know.
story about why Hideki had Ryo Hizatune's caddy on the bag this week?
No.
He got robbed in London. So Hideki's normal caddy, they were flying back from France, excuse me, France to Paris to London,
Mm.
London back to Florida, and his caddy got robbed, and he had his passport taken, so he couldn't obviously get back into America.
Mm.
So he's going through international clearing, whatever. So for 1 week only, he had a different caddy on the bag.
And Decky come out and said, I only tipped him $5,000. Has he done a Matt Kuchar?
Can we talk about Matt Kuchar from the week before? Fucking hell.
Riled you up, Marv, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. Everyone had forgot the stories came back about when he won that
Mexico.
tournament. A few years ago.
He got paid 10 grand. That lucky he is. Fucking
Yes.
ungrateful
If
bastard.
I gave him more, he'd be robbed.
Oh well, go on then. I'll give him 50, and then I'm going to give him 50. Give the other 50 to charity. I'm not going.
We agreed it beforehand. I don't know why he's being horrible about it. Yeah, why are you being mean?
Look, I don't want to put your family in danger by giving you the full 50k.
But the weird thing, Jay Monaghan came out and went, "Yeah, Matt was well within his rights to do that." Like, what are you talking about?
I think me, Bob, yeah, we'll discuss it on the golf course with it. Yeah, technically he is, but he's not like he's some 18-year-old that's scraping for his tour card that it really matters if he becomes T7 or T12
Right?
for an extra 100 grand. Fucking Cooch, like just get it. And also then he's also playing us alongside Grayson and Thompson, who are like both in it for the win. Or
They
definitely
both
Grayson.
finish up, yeah.
And like, you think, oh yeah, just the young kids that could easily throw them off. Just that nonsense going around, and it's just like, come on, just finish it for these guys. Just he's going for his second win on tour, and then you just pissing around like that in the most important time.
There was clearly a lot of frustration, wasn't it? Because wasn't Kuchar leading after the third round? And
I think he had to play like
36
holes that day in the
just
boiling heat. He just
like which
That
is
meme
not
of just fuck it.
It's not an excuse, is it? Because his caddy should have been out. You'd think somebody would have said, "Look, do you really want to do this?" One of the PGA Tour people walking around and trying to look. Come on, but no.
Stop being a cunt, Matt. Come, just hit your second shot. Make a bogey. Let's fuck off.
Yeah, but yeah.
Marv, this tournament,
enjoy the fall
5
series.
times. Marv.
Yeah, I think I noticed on the history of the winners' history.
He won by 8 shots.
I think it was at Cog Hill quite a few times. So that was Tiger kind of to a T, wasn't it? A lot of courses that suited his eye, he just dominated.
On the same vein, well, why don't you give your 2 tips for the week? Because you've had a few weeks
I said
off.
I'm not going to go with Scheffler. It wouldn't surprise me if he, last week was a bit of just a steady week for him, and then he comes back, all firing all cylinders last 2 weeks, dominates next week. There you go. Wins 50,
we all care about, isn't it?
50, 60 million for the season, and smashes it and sets every. Well, don't know how many wins does it need to have the best PGA Tour season ever? Were you telling me this recently?
I think he's still some way behind Tiger.
Okay. So I've gone a little bit further down the leaderboard odds. And I'm definitely not picking Sahith Theegala. No chance.
But just jump back that Byron Nelson in 1945 won 18 tournaments out of 30 that he played,
Wow.
including 11 in a row.
Like hell playing tournaments around Huddersfield, isn't it? Just with me.
Kiddie's game.
I don't think I'll be beaten.
Yeah, the country club, you
I
cheap
think,
bastards.
bearing in mind this new course, bearing in mind it's over 8,000 yards, it's suggested it's a bit of an Augusta in the mountains. My first selection, again, I'm going with prices here. I'm going to throw out Wyndham Clark, top price 33s, generally 30 to 1. You know, just
Some
because
of us got 40s. I mean,
well, so you know, just because of the distance, and he's probably got to get hot for a week, hasn't he? But that's that's my first selection.
Wyndham Clark's a really funny one because he played really well at the Open. He came with I don't know if he's just gonna he's getting used to some of these
And he had a tight seventh last week, and so
he played really well. He got better as the week went on this week. Whether it's just a little bit rusty.
so I'm definitely going for length this week off the tee.
Hep, you've yet to have a winner this season.
It's now or never. There's 2 left.
Only 2 weeks left. Who's your main pick for the BMW?
Well, Marv let it in there, length off the tee. I'm going back to Ludwig.
I had a feeling you might.
Fucking Avo, man. Really?
Big at 22s. Yeah.
What's he done the last few weeks?
Old Faithful.
Old Faithful. Well,
He's not
you've
won
taken
this
my
year.
normal Clark pick. Trying to pull up Obergs.
What did you? Hep, we're gonna have to lose his stat on him. You've got no stats in like 2 months now.
Well,
I tried
the first couple of
How
weeks.
much DIY you got you doing out there? Jesus Christ!
And then just coast.
Did Porsche catch the bouquet?
No, already engaged.
Yeah. When's the stag do?
Heath? What was your question?
What's Edberg done the last few weeks?
Going back to, so he was cut in the Open. He was 18th at the Olympics, and he was 40th last week. But
yeah, fucking great form, that. You know what I mean?
Form's not everything.
If you want to secure a winner, Hep, I'll give yourself a chance. Go with your second selection as Scheffler, 1 point each way.
Cheeky 2 points profit.
Going all on Scheffler.
Would either of you fancy Paddy Ice, Patrick Cantley? I do remember when he beat Bryson 3 years ago. I think I backed Bryson, like willing him to win just because I hate Cantley so much.
Well, he won the 2 tournaments versions of this before Hovland. So, but then again, like you say, it moves around every year. So how much you can take of that? But no, I'm never backing Cantley. Just don't want to.
When Rahm beat DJ, I'm sure I was away with like Madden and had him back DJ. Another one. Why was it 400 at Olympia Field? What was wrong with that in the COVID era? No idea.
Could it be timing? When I can't remember when it was played. Because the majors were because I think the US Open that Bryson won wasn't that played in September at Winged Foot. Now whether that was after whether they kept August still as the FedEx, I'm not sure, but I can only think it would have just been a different time of the year, which might have had an impact.
Looks like it's quite close to the Great Lake up there in northern Illinois, so it could have been dodgy weather off the lake, but who knows?
From an odds perspective, McIlroy and Morikawa are both friendless. Sanders very popular at 6 to 1. Hideki's been nibbled to go back to back. I think he'll be absolutely spent after this week. He looked so relieved just to get over the line on Sunday. It's like I don't think he'll be necessarily that arsed about this week. Hideki's generally about an 18 to 1 shot. Cantley 20 to 1. Aberg's on the drift out to 20s, 22s. That's the weight of Hep's picks.
It's just drifted in the last 3
A fucking
minutes.
double penalty. I thought Sam Burns played very well this week. You know, not with he made he went in the water at 18, made a good bogey. I've kind of backed Billy Horschel, or fancied Billy Horschel, right? The last 6, 7, 8 weeks. I don't necessarily think he'll be there in the miss. I know he won here 10 years ago. It's a different course. I think Hovland, his ball striking was phenomenal Sunday. We've just kind of been waiting for him to kind of get with it again. He had, you said he was back after was he second in the US Open? Or was it the PGA? I think it's the US.
One of the majors. Yeah.
I think the US Open. You went, oh, he's back. Or the next week, I think he missed the cut. I'm not convinced about this new putting technique where he stands there and starts doing all this stuff, and a bit like Justin Rose. His ball striking has always been phenomenal. Hovland is still 18 to 1, 6 places. I think that's a great price. He's the one to stick out from last week. I do like Clark. Nick Dunlap has been a massive mover already. Was he hundreds? 80s this morning?
Hundreds, 5 places, yeah. 75.
The two, if you watch the final round, the stand-up were Zalatoris and Dunlop. Dunlop, in the heat of the battle, played really well for a kid his age. When Matsuyama was kind of grinding really well, scrambling really well that first. Hideki was flawless the first 12 holes until he got talking to by the officials. And Dunlop was still hanging in there. I think he's only 22, 23. To do that was phenomenal. I think, yeah, 70 to 1. I think he's 66 to 1, 6 places. He's worth a take. The market is so skewed toward the names at the top of the market without necessarily factoring form or any form of recency bias. But yeah, Denny McCarthy. I think Denny McCarthy, Dunlap, and Zalatoris will play well at big prices, but Hovland for me and Dunlap as the safer. We'll go 4 points Hovland, a point each way Dunlap.
But yeah, on the back of that, I think my second pick's going to be the highest odds on the board. Pavon down at the bottom. I really don't see why.
You need to win it, don't you? I can't blame you. Jesus.
Don't see why he should be the last man on this odds board, to be honest.
250 to 1 with Sky, mate. What's that about?
I know. Like, what's it, a 50-man field? You're telling me he can't get a top 8 at, 150s probably? Like,
he can get a top 8, but you won't get paid out.
Yeah, Tom Hookie's in there.
It's Mitchell as well. Who to go for?
Mitchell qualified. He was right in the bubble, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
No, he's missed out. Yeah, never mind.
Of course he did.
You saved yourself a tenner there.
But yeah, I'm going Pavon. Okay.
Do you not think are we just looking at it from a different perspective? Like Keegan Bradley's a former winner here. He's 101 with Sky, but he's another one. He's had a good few weeks. Even like Chris Kirk, he had the overnight lead out after the first round. He played very well the first couple of rounds, kind of faded away, but he shouldn't be. He's 175 to 1. Yeah, it's just a bit of a strange one. But I'd be very surprised if Hovland. I'd be very surprised if Hovland does have a great week. Marv, your second pick?
Yeah, I'm going to throw in at top price hundreds, generally 80s. Thomas Dietrich. He just seems very up and down.
Was 6 under through the first 6 holes of the final
yeah, well,
round.
that's it. You're looking at last week, 74, 68, 71, 65. Like, I don't think he can put to save his life. To be honest, from what I've seen
I saw a video of you from last week, Marv, so you can't say fuck all. Jesus Christ.
I still got a par on that hole.
It's just only the deck at par 5, you know what I mean? 3-putt par.
Yeah, the main thing is that I was putting for eagle. Forget that I 3-putted for par. So I'm gonna chance.
Go on to mainly golf on YouTube to see the videos of that.
I didn't sign anything to say that they could go on there, but anyway. Yeah, Dietrich, I very up and down, but he is at a price 80s and 100s in places. And I think he's had a couple of good finishes through the year in majors. So if you catch him one week and he he could be up there. Likewise, he could finish last.
There's a good chance I'm on
Very,
paternity leave.
very
Sooner rather than
volatile.
later.
I think.
I'll do the P&L. I'll get a Google sheet of all our tips at some point and highlight how much hypnosis.
Yeah, I was just going to start again from next season. just fuck the
reset.
first 24 episodes. And
You
then
see those tips, don't you? Anyway, we'll reset now. New season. Like,
we'll just
you
warm
got
it up.
200 points down. Yeah, new season now.
Just warm it up.
Does he feel weird? Like I feel like there's a big build was the Masters, and then the big build was the Players, and then the Masters, and then a bit of a low US Open, PGA, the Open, and then afterwards it's like, yeah, I know there's a lot of money on offer for the FedEx stuff. It doesn't really mean as much.
No, if you go on the app, it tells you it's the main event or something like that, doesn't it? Like it loads up. It's like the big one, the one they've all been playing for. It's like no fan gives an absolute shit about
The
it.
the only like FedEx Cup memory I can think of the last 10 years is Tiger and the crowds behind him. And that wasn't because of the money on the line. It's just fucking hell, Tiger's actually going to win a tournament. Was that 27? 2017, Marv?
18.
18. And then he
Yeah,
won the
because
Masters 2019, didn't
I think it was the week after it was under the old system. And he actually nearly won the FedEx Cup that year, but I think at one point in the back nine, he was projected top. So obviously when it was at the tournament and the FedEx were two separate, but I think Justin Rose picked up a couple of shots and actually won FedEx Cup that year. But then I think it was the week after, was straight on to the Ryder Cup in France.
No.
Yeah.
No. The Ryder Cup was 2018, France.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah. So after the Tour Championship, went straight to, I think the Ryder Cup was the week after. And obviously,
my point is that this big end of season like playoff stuff, it's not really memorable, is it?
no, and I think Scotty, I want to say there was an article recently last week so that Scotty wasn't too happy about the current setup. Whether I suppose he was kind of like even more against it because he was like, how can I play so good all season? And then if somebody wins 2 times in a row,
Why does he sound like hell?
They potentially scoop the FedEx Cup, which I kind of but they're trying to. But then Rory came out because I love this because it gives me a chance. Oh, of course it McIlroy, because you're not consistent enough through the season to get yourself
he won
up
the
there.
Zurich. Why are you being mean? He won twice this season.
Was it full points for the Zurich or was it?
It was absolutely, yeah. Easy game.
Full points, and it was only a pairs competition. Fuck me.
Against these fucking amateurs, these pub players. Robert Streb and John Franklin. Fucking Barney Jones. There's absolutely nobody out there listening who will know Barney Jones is, by the way. The Frankie Dettori of virtual racing.
I don't think even from a keen golfer's point of view, I don't think the FedEx Cup can really be any more than what it is. It's never going to
going into 2025, Marv. There's no Ryder Cup, which is the President's Cup next month. How much pressure is Shane Monahan under?
I'd like to say a lot, but I feel as though if he'd have already gone by now. If he was, if he had somebody saying, "Look, you've screwed up this deal with, Liv or Saudis, should have been, should have seen it coming many years ago, should have planned for it, etc., etc." And they're in the shit where they are. But I don't think he's powerful, right? I don't think he's accountable to anyone potentially, or not accountable enough. And I suppose either somebody at the top maybe always isn't, or the only way they are is in a setup where you've got shareholders and PGA Tour not for profit. The players aren't really that way, are they? They might think it's their tour, but
Patrick Cantley, isn't he?
Well, is he not Cantley? Is he not the Cantley PGA Tour?
The Cantley Warnley Tour,
the FedEx Cantley Cup.
It's like when Sepp Blatter was in charge of FIFA, right? Just do what I want.
So
challenge me.
Yeah, yeah, as you say, we'll see. I think well, I don't think yeah, I'm not a fan of him.
Have you had a look at switching gears? Have you had a look at the Danish Golf Championship?
The Danish Pastry Golf Championship? No, I haven't.
You're fascinated in the minute. What are you talking about? Magic
I still
Marv is
think
now a Muslim. He
yes.
transitioned in the week, so congratulations. No, no, I was baking too much. Anyway, if you want to bet in there, David Rivetto is 100 to 1. So hell, we'll talk after this. David Rivetto's 100 to 1. It's ridiculous. I hate double barrel names. I think it's so nonsense pretentious. But Brandon Robinson Thompson was 80
Especially
to 1
when it's
this
that long.
morning.
Shorten your fucking name. So like Katrina Johnson Thompson at the Olympics. It's unnecessary, right?
I always know it's Jessica Ennis, right? She's not Jessica Ennis Hill. No, just Ennis. Robinson Thompson played really well last week. He's still like a young guy. In the heat of battle last week, he's like 2-3 behind. He starts going flag hunting at really tough holes. I obviously paid the penalty. But he looks to have the raw ability on a really poor. The DP World Tour is really poor these days. Like, I think I said to you, Jorge Campillo has been playing he's been trying to get his card in America, narrowly struggled. But it's a bit like when you get these like group horses, Marv, dropping into listed class, like under a penalty, like they should win. So the Højgaard twins are short just because they're Danish.
But that's without just jumping in too much. But that is part of seems to be the problem. I said that the top gets too fat. Everything else, particularly the middle.
What do you mean?
Contrary to the other sort of tours, they're to a point are always going to be, in my opinion, they're always going to keep that kind of standard and that level of, earnings, for example. But the next one up is the DP World Tour.
It's a big
but
jump.
That's got squeezed, and everybody's now got a much more easier way of getting to the PGA Tour, and that's where everyone wants to be because of the money. And then suddenly the quality of the DP World Tour just effectively just goes to shit.
But the way the new format and the new schedule kind of works, it kind of benefits the DP World Tour because after the FedEx Cup for the next 2 weeks in September, you've got I think the British Masters, you've got the Irish Open, and you've got the PGA Championship at Wentworth. So you get a lot of good players come. You'll get like a Lowry and a Horschel and a McIlroy and a Rose.
I suppose yeah. If the
trick, they'll all be down there for it.
If the European players stay,
it's kind of
like a deal being
done between the DP World Tour and the PGA to kind of make sure everyone's happy, right? And all the Americans are off playing the President's Cup, so it allows these players to go.
I suppose as you say, and that's it. Let's be honest, it's like with PGA Tour and the Live. To get the best players playing together, there's got to be some sacrifice. They can't, not each tour can't have a tournament the same week. Not necessarily tournament week after week after week after week, can they? It can't be PGA Tour 1 week, Live next, then PGA Tour, then Live. People's top players just won't play them all, so they've got to wait.
I think I was reading like was it Rory said we should have like a 6 week, a bit like the Indian Premier League, right? And these people are paying massive money. The cricket world can't kind of ignore this, so you kind of just make a slot available in the calendar where they go and play this Mickey Mouse format, earn a lot of money, and come back and play proper stuff afterwards. That I think will probably be the ultimate like consolation or kind of placating of them. There'll be a window in the calendar where everyone goes and plays live golf or the live format, 3-round shot start, whatever. But you can't kind of ignore
the teams
them.
could work like that short term. You could have somehow, I don't know. Yeah.
Imagine four American guys like Team Patriots or whatever. Or you get 4 guys like Bubba Watson and Kevin Kisner, whatever the Southern Boys. If you get funny names and people who have a relevant background, like the Spaniards, right? Timo Lane, whoever, Sergio and John Rahm, whatever. But you need to have that relatability, but you need to have that marketability. They haven't got it right yet.
I suppose if
But
you wanted,
you could.
Go on, Twig.
I was saying like I was listening to Nasser saying in the week he was talking about how I've never watched a single ball of the 100. I think I don't understand the format. I don't have no interest in it. Don't like short format cricket anyway. And so they keep trying to create more and more cricket without realizing everyone wants a piece of the pie. The pie is only so big.
Yeah.
So when you cut off a sliver and you cut off a sliver, right? Like fucking hell, lads. There's not enough. There's not the pie's not getting bigger, and you're all wanting to get your own little share. You have to just kind of something has to give. And in golf, right, when there's the majors and then but the DP World Tour is doing 40 weeks on the year, and the PGA is now doing the FedEx Cup and Live Golf. You can't do everything. Something
think
has to be conceded.
Yeah, to be honest, and I'd even throw it out there that that's also from a player's point of view. I mean, I know every player wants to be compensated and remunerated, but at the end of the day, it's got to come back to your ability, the results you're putting out there.
They're diluting the quality.
Yeah. Now, whether ultimately, as we've said, the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour, it gets better after the PGA Tour finish because it releases players in a way. Whether the only way of this everything coming together is some way of, you kind of through the PGA Tour and through the DP World Tour, you qualify for this team live element because then it rewards your performance through the year because then they're able to go into the live into a draft whatever, and that's even more money. But that rewards you for having a consistent season and getting into that team element for so many weeks, whether throwing a few wild cards, whatever. But there's got to be a bit of a structure, a bit of a tier to it. Else, yeah.
The problem is the way
in fact, if the PGA Tour executives are listening,
they're not.
And they like that idea.
They're not.
Okay. But I think it's a really good idea. It needs to be a feeder system in some way. It needs to come together. That's genius, that. I've just thought that up. Yeah.
There is a feeder system. Top 10 players on the DP World Tour don't have
No, but feeder system from the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour to this final team competition for so many weeks that is effectively live, where the riches are.
Who won the Leaf event last week in the Greenborough? We used to be the Greenborough Classic.
It wasn't Bryson, I know that.
It wasn't.
No, I don't think it was Ram.
No.
I don't know. I want to say it wasn't any big name, but I could be honest, I don't really remember.
Koepka won his 5th Live golf event since he moved across. But you were a golf fan, golf player. You hadn't heard anything about that, have you? There's no.
I haven't followed any of it.
But I mean, just coming across anything on like social media or on the internet, you've not read anything.
No, apart from unless you're following the Flushing It Twitter account.
Hashtag ad.
No, it's
Is Brooks Crushers? Oh, he's smashed.
My point was that nobody gives a shit. To the casual pun, to the casual fan, doesn't mean anything. There's no stakes involved. There's no history. There's no legacy. You want to be the person that has won this tournament because Tiger's won it, and Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus and Seve, whatever. Oh, it's just a fucking. We created a tournament 3 years ago. Let's go and win it. You can't. Again, we were saying off air. I've been going off and watching a lot of old Test match cricket stuff from like 20, 25 years ago. And when you see the fact like Stuart Broad's got 600 Test wickets now and Jimmy's got 700 Test wickets, and you look at the amount of work that has gone into that from a career. I was watching highlights of Graham Smith getting 300 at Lord's in 2003. And I think it was one of Anderson's like first ever tests. And both was criticizing, going, I know this kid's got a lot of wickets in Test cricket, in county cricket, right, at one days, but what? He's not ready for this. He's just getting absolutely. He's just chucking up pies. What's he doing? You've learned. You've gone away and learned your craft, but he's had to go and do the hard yards, and it's the same. I don't see live golf as being on the same level of like 4 rounds tough conditions. So I don't like like T20 cricket. It's just not
No,
the
the
same as
100 was
Test
the
cricket.
perfect analogy. Like the
Red ball
100's
cricket.
even a worse version of T20. Like I've not watched even
Fucking
half a
hate the
game
100. I've
of
never
the
watched it,
100
but yeah.
in the 4 years it's been on. Like I'll turn it on. I think, oh, I'll watch this, and I literally watch 8 balls, and I turn it off every time. Just
No
it
emotional
doesn't.
investment.
But I'll watch T20, even like county T20. I'll watch that now and again. But the 100 just no, I just what the fuck?
Because it's franchise cricket, just for a commercialized audience.
What's the point in it? What's the difference between 100 balls and 120 balls that they already had?
Why do you think why do you think him? Because in the people who've created it, it's a commercial model that they can then sell to other jurisdictions. They want to sell it to Australia and India and then profit off it and like patent it and license it.
How's
And
that going for them?
badly, really badly. They're losing a lot of money, and
Well,
it's been shown on the BBC, right? So they should be doing okay.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah, it's all pushed by a small number of stakeholders that obviously
a Sky
Like golf.
part owners in some way.
I think they have a
Because
minority
otherwise,
stake, yeah.
otherwise they'd be saying we can piss off. We ain't paying to
And
show
and they're
that.
really Sky's really trying to push the women's element of it, and I
Yeah, let's not say anything.
I'm fine with that. If you want to, if you want to push women's cricket,
supposed to be involved in a year.
just push it in the T20 blast. You don't need to.
I don't know what I'm sorry, but I'm going to offend somebody by saying this, but I don't know what's worse, like women's cricket, women's football.
Women's football. Jeez, women's football. I can't watch it.
No. Good luck to them, but no, it's not for me.
And on that note, Hep, give us your picks the weekend again, please. But before we go down that rabbit hole.
What about women's golf? Do you watch that?
Fucking Joey Barton.
4 points each way on Ludwig and 1 point each way on Pavon. 8 places.
Hep actually might be in profits if he gets a winner this week. Marv, your two?
Yeah, I had me look at the Danish Pastry Golf Championship on odds checker. I've forgotten the odds.
It's not exactly the payday UK. The UK, I got like 250 quid off them last week. I don't know what I've done. Must have been spending a lot of money with them 10 years ago.
Wyndham Clark, top price 33s, generally 30s.
Do like Wyndham.
I'll
do
go
like Wyndham a lot.
Let's go 3.5 each way. And the 80-1 shot, if I can remember his name, which I can't at the moment. Thomas Dietrich. There we go.
Tom Dietrich.
The extremely volatile Thomas Dietrich.
He's got
1.5 points each way.
Absolutely zero chance.
Do you know that? Well,
no,
I have warned the listeners.
If you want some outsiders, outsider this week, Nick Dunlap, Denny McCarthy, and Will Zalatoris, one of them 3 will finish in the top 8, and you'll make a profit. However, Victor Hovland is going to win the BM.
Top 6.
Change your bookmakers. You can't be self-excluded.
Royal Sports are top 8.
Victor Hovland, 6 points, 4 points each way. Victor Hovland. Can I take the earlier price? I mean, I did fancy the earlier price.
No one's recording any of this anyway. No one's lasted an hour into this recording.
Well, if I get a winner. 4 points each way, Victor Hovland at 20-1. He has to go well this week. He has to. Hovland for me. Clark for Marv. And long shots for Hep. Aberg could win. Pavon might get a place. And we'll see you all next week for 24. Right, a double dozen.
Final,
we'll see you
baby.
next week. Bye-bye.